So I wanted to bring up this article. This is from Janet Yellen. It's all the way back in 2018. I highlighted the date there. This is her, and she is actually currently now our Secretary of the Treasury for the United States. And almost 3 years ago, or I guess 2.5 years ago, she was already saying if she had a magic wand, she would raise taxes. But in some of the key points that I want to mention is that she talks about cutting retirement spending, which we're going to get into a little bit about social security, and notes that it only gets worse as the more baby boomers retire. It's like the largest generation of people retiring all at one time. So that's what we'll get into here with the social security. And we want to basically talk about what our deficit is even going towards, because I bet a lot of people don't even understand why we have a deficit and what all that is funding. So Eddie, you can tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, our debt continues to grow because not only do we have our debt, we have our interest on that debt. We have to pay for programs like Medicare. We have to defend our nation. You know, people are very concerned about Social Security. How long will it last? Will we get our full benefit from it? You know, we've got to pay for infrastructure and all of these other programs. And Johnny, if I had to ask you to pick two that you think are going to add the most to our debt as a nation, what would you pick?
Well, coming right off the fresh $1,400 stimmy, I would have to say stimulus might be one of them.
Now that has added a substantial amount of debt, but over the course of the next decade, realistically, it's going to be Medicare and Social Security. Now, most of us are worried about Social Security, as I mentioned, continuing to get that benefit when we're eligible for it. Yeah. But what a lot of us don't realize is Medicare and rising health costs, and the fact that we have 70 to 80 million baby boomers retiring to the tune of 10,000 per day. Medicare is actually probably going to be an issue that's 5 times worse than Social Security. But let's talk about what's really going on with Social Security. Now, Social Security was started in 1935. And back then, when it was started, for every person that was taking a benefit, there were 42 people that were contributing to that program. And in order to be eligible, in order to actually take Social Security, you had to be 65 back then. And this usually makes a lot of people laugh. The average life expectancy was only 62. So they didn't expect most people to even collect Social Security. And if you reach the ripe old age of 65 and started collecting Social Security, on average, they would only take 2 years worth of benefits. So do you think Social Security was pretty solvent back then?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, totally. I
mean, 42 to 1 is pretty substantial.
Exactly. They thought they were designing it to last forever. But again, what we said is we have 70 to 80 baby boomers retiring. Again, 10,000 people per day. They had 30 million less kids than their parents. So now if we take a look, for every one person that's contributing, that's taking a benefit, only 3 are contributing. In another decade, it's going to get down to 2 to 1. And what's the earliest that we can take Social Security now?
62.
That's right.
Dropped it down.
62. And if someone starts drawing at 62, they're likely going to draw on that for roughly 23 years. So has Social Security changed over the years? Yeah, of course. I mean, it basically went from being insurance against living too long to a pension program that pays us for almost a quarter of our life. There is a lot to worry about as far as Social Security and that benefit goes.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I get into in the next slide. There is a lot to worry about because a lot of people nowadays are using this as their main source of income in retirement. And that's not really like what we talked about. That's not really what it was designed for. According to the CBO, it's going to run out in like 13 years. And when I say run out, I don't mean run out of money completely, but they're going to have to substantially reduce benefits by, they're only going to be able to generate enough to pay about 75% of the benefits that you're getting now. And we're going to go deeper into taxation a little bit later, but that's not including the tax. If you make a certain threshold in income in retirement, you're going to get taxed on your Social Security a lot as well. So that further reduces the benefit. And as we know, it's hard to plan for retirement when you can't really guarantee what you're going to get every year over year. So,
all right, Johnny, now that we've scared everybody a little bit, should we go ahead and get into some of the strategies?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it's not meant to scare anybody, but we just want to raise awareness of the fact, because I think a lot of times the media kind of just pushes it down and just says everything's all right. So we just want to raise awareness and then allow the people to make decisions on their own, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for watching our video, and if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. You can support us on our other social media platforms through the links in the description. If you are interested in getting involved with us, schedule a 15-minute call today on our website. Be sure to check out our live streams and podcasts, link in the description. Thanks for watching. Peace.